Hi, my name is Steven.
It is I, Kevin.
And I am David, the eldest champion.
And we are the Brothers Born.
We invite you to bear witness as this most unlikely of throwdowns is about to commence. Welcome back, everybody, to Unlikely Throwdowns. We got to start. What?
Sorry, it's a new year. That's all. Sorry.
Well, he interrupted me, but I was going to say.
I just thought I'd interrupt you. I don't know.
All right. Stop interrupting me. Whoever interrupts me the most automatically is going to lose. So welcome back. It's a new year. We got new season starting here with Unlikely Throwdowns. And today we got some submissions from one of our listeners.
His name is Ruben. Thank you, Ruben.
Yes, thank you, Ruben, for your submission. And I guess we'll get kind of right into it.
Quick question, actually. I'm not just not interrupting because it's an actual honest question. Are we restarting the counter now? Like based on like last year, I think you had the most wins. Are we starting over again? And then because it's a new year? Like a new
start from zero, or do you want to keep continuing?
Well, if we keep continuing, I'm obviously always going to be in the behind. That's why I kind of want to start over again, see if I can maybe get ahead this year.
We could do both.
Yeah, I could track both of them. All right.
Yeah, we could track both. We'll do that. We'll track both. That way we know, because eventually, whoever has, someone's going to win one season, someone's going to win another season, so it's like,
yes,
we track both.
Well, also, I forgot to fail it. I didn't mention this ever last year, but you can actually, if you're a Spotify listener, you can vote on who you think should win as well. That's a thing you could do, listener. So please, well, we'll definitely take that more into account this year as we
we're gonna have millions of votes soon.
That's just on Spotify though, not on.
I believe it's just a Spotify thing, but I'll double check. But yeah,
cool. All right, that'd be good. Listen to if people agree with it. I would very much like to know if our listeners agree with our wins.
Yes, our assessments. Speaking of, sure. Shall we get into it?
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead, Derek?
All right.
Why don't you go ahead?
All right, Dave. My character. He first appeared in a 1985 in a French-American cartoon that was based on action figures and comic books. Although it was a French-American production, it was animated in Japan, so you could argue that this cartoon is anime. Not really, but sort of is. Anime adjacent. My character is a heavy-set older man with short gray hair, thick eyebrows, and a thick mustache. He wears a standard military outfit, like looking like a general uniform, indicating he is some sort of general. And he wears an armored viper mask, but his general outfit remains there, even with the mask on. So he still has like the fancy dress blues or dress greens or whatever it is for him. He is the founder and leader of a criminal organization. Any thoughts so far?
So I'm fighting some fat old dude that wants to hang on to a military career that should have been over a long time ago.
That is actually surprisingly very accurate. Yes.
Okay.
Any guesses on who it is? This is more your generation than mine.
I don't know. I don't know. Is it Disney related at all?
No, no.
It's not Disney related at all. I kind of have an idea who this is.
It's a tough one, but
it's a tough one. It's not a show that Dave, you and I really watched a whole lot of, but I definitely remember the toys.
The toys are very similar to G.I. Joe or Transformers, and that
kind of both, actually.
Yeah, they're kind of like Yes, it is from M.A.S.K.
It's from M.A.S.K. Yeah.
Who's the character?
I don't know. I just remember that I had a couple M.A.S.K. toys for a while.
Yes,
I don't remember any of the characters. I just remember I had a red Camaro.
That's awesome.
That was like the main dude.
So this is the villain in M.A.S.K. He's part of his organization is called Venom. Which stands for Vicious Evil Network of Mayhem.
I don't know the name. I can't remember.
It's all right. His name is Miles Mayhem. He is the evil leader of Venom from the show M.A.S.K. M.A.S.K. stands for Mobile Armored Strike Command. Command is spelled with a K, so it's like Mortal Kombat.
Now, if I remember right from M.A.S.K, like there are vehicles that could turn into other vehicles.
Yes.
Right? It wasn't a vehicle that could turn into a robot. Like if I remember right, there was a motorcycle that could turn to a helicopter. The Camaro, I can't remember what it turned to. I know I had a few M.A.S.K toys. I don't remember if Kevin did.
I don't think so. I think it was just you because we had I only remember the Camaro. It's the only one that I remember.
I feel like we both had the motorcycle that turned to a helicopter. I think it was green and yellow, but I can't remember for sure.
And
All right.
in preparation, I watched an episode of this cartoon. It is not great. It feels like an off-brand GI Joe, and GI Joe cartoons already pretty bad. So,
Yeah, you're so true. I love GI Joe, but I'm not gonna lie, that cartoon is not great.
so I've only watched one episode of M.A.S.K. Maybe it's better. But yeah, that's where I'm rolling with. Dave, what you got?
All right. I'm gonna be a little bit all over the board today, but I'll do my best to first give you some background information of this character. His actual name is Fenton Crackshell. That's
Whoa.
his real name. Um, he originally was, excuse me, he's a counter. He can count faster than anyone in the known universe, as far as my research, as far
He
as
could
what I gathered
like
from my
he
research.
could count faster than
Yes,
anybody.
he's a very
That's a
quick
talent.
counter.
That's a
He
very
is.
pretty good skill.
He can count millions of coins within just a few seconds. But his original job was an accountant, and he was
On
charged
brand.
with guard. He was sorry.
I said that's on brand since he can count so quickly.
Yeah, that's why he was an accountant. Um, Actually, he started out as a bean counter in a bean factory, and then he got hired by the person who owned the bean factory. I can't tell you the person because that'll give away the character. But he got hired by them to be the accountant and eventually to be the guard of the immense fortune that this guy owned. Not the character I'm talking about, but the guy who hired him.
Okay, so he's a
So there's an immense fortune involved that this character was trusted to take care of and guard. Um, let's see. He doesn't. I need better lighting in here, man. I'm sorry.
it's okay, old man. You're all good.
So basically that's his background. He's an accountant, originally bean counter, then an accountant, and then he kind of accidentally works his way into being this superhero type dude that
What?
eventually
That
is
is quite a leap right
yeah.
there. I'm counting coins and beans. Oh, I'm a superhero now.
Well, yeah, and he eventually is like the protector of not just this guy's fortune, but he's the superhero that protects this whole kind of I don't want to say world, but land that we're in, that he's in. Let's see. I'm
I'm
trying to
very
think.
curious how that transition occurred for this character.
Well, I'll tell you. Um, I'm trying just to, I don't want to give away any abilities yet, and I don't really know the character that well. So, and like I said, I kind of was writing all over. Um, but there's kind of the background where he comes from.
Okay, all right.
Any ideas at all?
It's an old cartoon, I feel
It is an
like.
old cartoon. Oh, I should say he first appeared in 1987.
Oh, so around the same
Um,
time as my guy. Okay.
yeah. So the cartoon, if I tell you, he's been in a couple cartoons, which are kind of under the same umbrella.
Okay.
Um,
What are the
so yeah,
cartoons?
think about who the richest. I saw an article on this. The richest cartoon character or fictional character of all. This is the vault that he's guarding.
The richest cartoon. So
Yes,
like the
you would
actual
think it'd be
character's
Black
He
rich?
Panther.
like he likes to swim. He's so rich, he likes to swim in his money.
Yes, yes.
He swims in his money?
Oh, he
Yeah.
does indeed.
Oh yeah, he definitely
Is he
does.
like a fish guy or something?
He is not a
But
fish
he's the
guy, but he is
waterfowl.
aquatic.
Like
Yeah,
he
he is
spends
aquatic.
a lot of time in water because he's a fowl of that.
Oh, so he's a duck.
Yes, he's a duck.
Does he so he protects, is he part of a Disney
Yes, this is a
franchise?
Disney.
Oh,
It was a Disney show that was popular when Kevin and I were kids.
frick. Only one I can remember is there's DuckTales and Tails.
Yes,
Oh,
he's
Yes.
first appeared in DuckTales.
oh,
In
he's in
First present
DuckTales.
Tails.
I don't know any of those characters' names. I know I'm sort of familiar with DuckTales and Tailspin. I think that was a
well, the character, his original name was, I think, Fenton Crackshell, I think, and he
you did say that.
becomes Gizmo Duck.
Gizmo
And
Duck.
yes,
Okay, I
Gizmo
don't know
Duck.
that character. That I
And
don't think I.
he starts out as a bean counter in Scrooge's Bean Factory, Scrooge McDuck's Bean Factory.
Oh, the richest Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Is it
this guy is
Scrooge
richer
McDuck?
than Black Panther, dude. And Black Panther has all the what's that? Vibranium at his disposal.
Say,
That's
hold
kind
on,
of
hold on,
richer
hold on.
than Black
How do
Panther.
you know he's richer than Black Panther?
I
Like,
don't
did
know.
someone
Some
did someone
research
make
was
that
done.
comparison?
Go ahead and look it up. Scrooge McDuck, I've seen research, is the richest character of all.
I thought you like looked up an article, like someone's like comparing his riches to Black
There was an
Panther's.
article based on that.
That's so funny. Like, how do you even put those
Like
two in
he's
the
way
same
richer
pot?
than Iron Man. He's way richer than Bruce Wayne. He's rich.
Wow.
Scrooge
But
McDuck.
your
So
character's not, it's
so
his boss that's rich,
his
right?
boss. So it's important to know that it's his boss. But this is the biggest fortune known to man, known to any universe I can think of. And this guy's in charge. First, he's Scrooge McDuck's accountant, and then he becomes Gizmo Duck and gets put in charge of watching over Scrooge McDuck's uh massive fortune.
So Gizmo Duck versus Miles Mayhem.
Yeah, and I'm
Thank
trying
you,
to
Ruben.
think. There's one other thing about the fortune I got to find it now, but where he originally, let me just look real quick on it. Where's that? Originally he was oh, I know what it was. Originally there was a robot that was charged to protect Scrooge McDuck's fortune. I don't remember the robot's name, but it protected it so well that Scrooge could not even get into his fortune.
Oh, it's like
So
Gringotts.
yeah, so this guy, Scrooge, the Gizmo, like kind of got this. Eventually, he beats this robot and he becomes the protector of the fortune,
Oh,
pretty
okay.
much. So that's where he starts out as, but then he kind of, as he gets this Gizmo Duck suit and realizes the abilities that he has, he becomes a superhero
Well, I'm very
for the
curious to see
Ducktales world. He
how this
actually
turns
worked with
out.
Darkwing Duck at one point too,
Oh,
but
no
Thing
way.
is,
Darkwing Duck and him are kind of rivals. They're both on the side of good, but Darkwing Duck gets jealous of Gizmo sometimes. So they're kind of friendly rivals
the thing
for
is,
the
I
side
watched
of good.
DuckTales and Darkwing Duck, and I do not remember Gizmo Duck.
Mm. I faintly remember him. As I talk about him, you might remember him a little bit more. But that's the backgrounds.
All
So
right.
should we take a break or what do you want to do?
Yeah, let's take a quick break.
Okay.
A wise man once said, "Cash rules everything around me. It's all about the money. Dollar dollar bills, y'all." Now, the Brothers Born are definitely not part of the Wu-Tang Clan. But the sentiment, well, it's still true. When it comes down to it, making content that we do can have some costs when it comes to equipment and certain fees. This is where you come in as a listener. No obligation here, but if you do like what we have and you would like to contribute a little bit of funds our way so we can improve our content, there's 3 different tiers of payment which you can use. The first one is a simple, cheap tier of 99 cents. Not too bad. Next tier would be $4.99, or if you're straight ballin', $9.99 for the third tier. Now, there's no obligation here. We're going to do the content either way, but we definitely would appreciate a little help. Thank you in advance, and we look forward to providing more content for you.
Yo, this is Kevin. We're bringing it back. Talk about Gizmo Duck versus the guy from M.A.S.K. Yo,
Miles Mayhem. Say his name. Thank you.
Miles Mayhem. Yeah.
All right. All right.
Just like my intro.
Okay, Kevin. That sounds good, man. Good try. Good effort on that, man. Good work.
Hey, man, you don't got those kind of skills.
Sure.
I'm
Well,
about to show you some Gizmo Duck skills, though.
I'm going to show you some Miles Mayhem skills. So, all right, he is old. He might have some heart disease and diabetes. I don't know. They don't ever get into that. But don't let that count against him because he's got some skills, bro. He's a cruel and ruthless leader. Let me talk about that for a moment. He holds very high standards for tasks that he gives his underlings, and he expects them to be successful. And when they fail, he verbally and physically abuses them. So he works with fear a little bit. But
So, like every cartoon villain in the 80s.
yes. However, despite their many failings and his his way of disciplining them, he does keep them employed. So that does indicate he has some sort of loyalty to them because these guys don't have to work for this supervillain. But he keeps them employed. He is very interested in riches, and most of his evil plots surround gaining treasure or riches despite the general safety of the public around him. We already have motive here. He
A
is
gem of that
after
size answers all of my questions.
Yes,
So
that's
pretty
right.
much every 80s villain again.
He is. So he's. Oh, we got it. He's after Scrooge McDuck. He's after those riches. We already have like our scenario here. Um, like I said, the name of his evil organization is Venom, vicious evil network of mayhem, and he has a twin brother named Maximus Mayhem.
Oh, I
Yeah,
think
dude.
that guy sounds stronger than Miles.
Um, but yeah, he is very money motivated, and that's kind of his main brand. I don't want to talk about his abilities yet because I don't have that many, so I'm gonna pass it back to you.
Dave, can we have you force your son Miles to dress as Miles Mayhem for Halloween?
Probably not, but I could ask him. No one would know who he was.
It's like when I wore the Cobra Commander costume to that dance in middle school, and no one knew who I was at all, and I was so disappointed.
You wore my Cobra Commander costume to the dance?
I did because it was a Halloween
And,
dance, and I was
and
all
no one.
pumped for it. And like
That's unfortunate.
a couple of my closest friends knew. That's only because they like knew us, But most of them were like, "Who's that?" And I was so stupid. Anyway, it doesn't
That's when
matter.
you're like Cobra.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you some personality, and then Kevin can come back. Steven can come back with his abilities, then I'll come back with my abilities, I guess.
All right, that works.
Um, my guy, he always stays positive. He no matter what happens to him, he's optimistic. And he thinks of it makes him it makes him kind of sometimes makes him thinks he can do more than he can do, but it also makes him have the drive to try to do whatever. Like he sometimes he takes on more than he can probably, but also he takes on a lot because he's positive he can get it done. Um, his methods that he takes do require a lot of patience on the part of the people he's working for, because sometimes he doesn't have the best he has like he's I don't know, kind of same similar personality to Inspector Gadget, but
Oh,
a
okay.
little bit more on the ball than Inspector Gadget. Let's see. He doesn't have let's he doesn't care for his true self very much. Like he loves his counting ability, but he prefers the Gizmo Duck alias because when he's Gizmo Duck, he just has more confidence and he's able to just yeah, like I said, more confidence, maybe because he's hiding behind his superhero identity or whatnot. Let's see.
He's hiding behind a mask.
Kind of, just like what your guy.
Miles Mayhem knows a thing or two about masks. I'll tell you.
He believes in possible like the thing is Fenton, his real life identity, believes in possibilities but not abilities. But when he's Gizmo Duck, he believes in his abilities as well. Even though not his abilities don't always carry him where he needs to, they usually do. Um, but eventually he prefers being Gizmo Duck compared to his normal self. Let's see real quick. That goes most of its abilities. One time he was with Darkwing Duck, like I said, they didn't they agreed to work together. At first they were trying to solve the same crime, so they're kind of not really working together and they weren't having much success. But eventually they learned how to work as a team. Um, I think I had a couple more before I get into abilities, but mostly like he doesn't give up. He works hard. He stays positive. He tries to get the job done no matter what it is, and he's very loyal to his people, especially to Scrooge McDuck. He's very
Is
loyal.
this the Scrooge McDuck who's like Scrooge though, like grumpy and like like
Well, the guy's
bah
name is
humbug?
always Scrooge McDuck, but he's not the. Sometimes he's grumpy, sometimes he's not. I
This
don't.
isn't like Ebenezer Scrooge then.
No, no, no.
Oh, okay.
But
So I
I
know they
think
did do that. They did have
his
like a
actual name in the franchise is Scrooge McDuck,
okay.
right,
That makes
Kevin?
okay.
Yeah.
I think. But then they didn't do the Christmas Carol version, I believe, where actually acted as Scrooge.
Okay, gotcha.
But
So it's
I
different.
don't
It's a different
know.
Scrooge. Okay,
Yeah, I don't know much. Like he's related to Donald. He's related to Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and all those other
gotcha.
ducks. Um, he inspires others to face their fears because he faces his. He's very brave. And sometimes he serves as comic relief. We'll give him that because sometimes his suit fails him. I'll get more into what his suit can do later, but also his personality because he's an accountant. He's kind of nerdy. So he serves as the comic relief, just like every cartoon has at least one guy who's the comic relief.
Yeah.
But he's not just comic relief. He also is pretty good at what he does. He's pretty strong at what he does too. So I guess that's pretty much it. Loyal, confident, positive. He likes
Oh,
being a superhero more than himself. The more he gets into it, the more he realizes that's the person he really wants to be instead of just a guy who counts beans and money.
so he's very much a good guy, whereas
Yeah, he's definitely a good guy. There's
Miles
not a,
Mayhem is far from a good guy.
from what I can tell from my research, there's nothing bad about him unless he does something accidentally that hinders the mission that he's on.
Gotcha.
That might help the enemy a little more, but
Okay, all right.
definitely loyal and true.
So Miles Mayhem, I did fail to mention there actually was a crossover with G.I. Joe, and he joined Cobra for a small time. There's a little bit of he does have a little bit of a terrorism connection there, but that was not his main thing. Obviously, as his own show and stuff. But I did want to note that I forgot to mention that. Miles Mayhem, his abilities primarily come from different masks that he can wear. One, let me actually before I get into the mask, though, I do want to note that he is an extraordinary pilot. He can steer into caves and other small tunnels, and he flies a helicopter that transforms into a jet plane called the Switchblade.
Ooh,
I can't
I
tell
like
you
that.
how many times in my life I've been in a helicopter and I thought, man, if only I had a jet plane right now. Oh, easy. Miles Mayhem has got that. He
I
just
sort of
transforms.
remember that actually. Now that you said it, I remember that
Yeah.
jet switching, which
So
I
he's got so he's got basically an Osprey.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but sounds good to me. Is that some military junk that you're talking about?
Yes, it's a helicopter slash airplane hybrid vehicle.
That
They crash.
exists?
Yeah, it does, but they crash a lot.
Do you have to wear a mask to pilot it? Is that part of it? Because that's what you have to do to pilot the Switchblade. You have to have a special mask.
No. You don't have to have a switch mask.
All
It's
right.
just, but no, I've been in one. They get in a lot of accidents. They're not a great piece of military equipment.
So
But
really quick though, we're not talking about the Osprey. We're talking about the Switchblade. So don't you dare bring in your faulty military vehicle and compare it to the Switchblade because the Switchblade is a totally
already
different
have.
ballgame. All
I
right.
wasn't going to.
So
I was.
let's talk about his masks. He has a Viper mask that spits out corrosive poison. That's cool. So your guy's suit, I don't know what it does yet, but easy. Corrosive poison on that bad boy. Eat away at it.
It is made of metal.
Yep, see? There you go. He has a Python mask that fires a gripping wire, which cracks me up that I have not maybe this isn't how it works, but I'm picturing him firing this wire out of his mask and his like a grappling hook coming out of his face, and that amuses me.
That
Um,
sounds like it could have happened in the 80s.
um, he wears the Python mask when he co-drives Outlaw, which is an oil tanker that transforms into um a weapons system, another type of vehicle. He has the flexor mask when he pilots Buzzard that allows him to generate force fields. So he's got corrosive poison mask, he's got the gripping wire mask, and he's got force field mask, and they all kind of partner with a special vehicle that he's piloting at the time. He's got
Okay.
these masks getting pretty destructive. I think that's the whole show's thing. They all have masks in these vehicles that transform. I think that's kind of their whole brand.
They did have masks from what I remember.
The show is called Mask after all.
I liked putting the masks on the little figures I had.
It was available on I watched it somewhere. I watched an episode of it. I found it. Yeah, so I think it's on Amazon Prime, maybe. Can't remember. But
Well,
yeah,
I should win because my show is available on Disney Plus.
why does
Which
that
is the
matter? They're both
superior.
available. Who cares where it's at?
Yours is probably just on YouTube somewhere.
No, it was through Amazon
Some
Prime through like
fanboy put a
Freevee or
video of
something
it.
like that. Shut up. All right, go. What are your abilities?
All right, my abilities. Is that all you got? Just a few masks? It's kind of cute.
Wow.
Do they have like a little, do they make him like, do they have like smiley faces on him and stuff? I don't remember what they look
Wow.
like.
You're like
Anyway, my
cooking.
abilities. Physical strength. He's got that. Many gadgets. He's got that. However, the thing with the gadgets, this is why I say he's similar to Inspector Gadget. His suit is still kind of new technology to him. And he has some of the gadgets, he doesn't have full knowledge of what they do all the time. So, and how to activate them. So sometimes they activate accidentally or they just don't activate when they're supposed to. Doesn't happen all the time, but once in a while. Like I said, he was comic relief, so they probably threw that in from what I remember in an episode once where maybe a gadget didn't work properly. But he does have a lot of gadgets, and he doesn't know what all of them do. So I'll tell you a little bit about the gadgets real quick if I can read where. Okay, here it is. Um, he has a retractable shield on his suit. His suit has missile launchers, rocket blasters, so he can fly. He does have the power of flight. When he's wearing the suit, he has super strength. Um, his suit's made of metal. It has extendable arms. These arms have laser beams and also grappling hooks that he can use. So he can shoot
Does he
his...
have a face grappling hook though? Because
No, it does not have a face grappling hook that I know of, but he has a pretty sweet mask though. A pretty sweet helmet on the suit. At the bottom of the suit, rather than having legs, it's got one wheel, so it's kind of like a unicycle type thing. Which gives him very good maneuverability because the suit's, I mean, it's the size of him, a little bit bigger because it's a suit, but it's not like this huge vehicle like your big things that you fly around in. He can maneuver through anything he wants and he can go pretty fast in it. He's got really quick speed. Um, and when he finally decides to team up with Darkwing Duck and they, in this mission they're on, Darkwing Duck jumps on his back and he's able to wheel Darkwing Duck around everywhere. And Darkwing Duck really likes that about him. So that's one of the benefits that he feels when they work together. Um, anyways, that's a sidebar. But those are not quite as many gizmos as Inspector Gadget, at least not that he knows of, because like I said, some of them he hasn't really discovered yet. But he's able to do all those, he has all those gizmos, rocket launchers, lasers, shield over his suit. Well, for this purpose of this battle, we'll just say the shield is able to withstand corrosive whatever
no,
you spit
no,
out of
no,
your
bro.
guns.
You can't just make those assertions like that.
That's
That's
why
not
I
how
like
this.
going second because I can kind of defend. So for this for purposes of this battle, I'm gonna say it
No,
has that ability. And then also,
judge.
the
I'm
suit
going to
makes him
say
very
that
strong. He's
that is
able to
not
throw
the
pieces of
case.
statues everywhere. I think he's thrown concrete slabs before. Um, in order to activate his suit, the only quote I have, I'm just going to say it now because it goes with his suit. Whenever he wants to activate his suit, he says, blathering blatherskite. That's what he says. Blathering blatherskite. And then his suit activates.
You
Um,
have your characters have the dumbest stuff that they say. I just got to say, wowzers! And then this blathers like what even is that, dude?
and
Like
you don't want to know because when you hear him say it, that's when the suit gets activated.
that's when it's
And
game over.
then you know some stuff's going down. Um, so those are the main powers of his suit. Uh, he has also a strong intellect. I wanted to tell you a couple things about like his counting abilities. There's actually a time where he beats the fastest super counter in the universe. In this counting battle they have, and he's able to beat him because he counts so
Wait,
fast.
could he beat the
Um,
Count from Sesame Street?
I'm sure he can smoke that dude, man. But
How about Rain Man in the movie Rain Man?
oh
Is
yeah,
that dude?
he probably is the duck version of Rain Man. But what I was gonna say too about his counting abilities is if I can find it. Like I said, this is how he got hired originally. He saw some coins flying through the air and he was able to count them as they were flying. And at another point, he's able to count millions of coins just within a few seconds. So that counting ability can help him also figure out possibilities and
Sure,
what tactics
logic
would
and
work
such.
best in battle because he's a logical thinker. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it that I have right now. He's often the voice in chaotic situations. He's able to negotiate with terrorists and bad guys. Sometimes he negotiates with them and is able to talk his way through things. I guess that goes more with his personality,
You
but
know who you wouldn't be able to negotiate with though?
um
Miles Mayhem, the terrorist captain of
I
Venom.
don't know. You
Probably
don't
not.
know his ability. You haven't seen him in action. He might be able to. But extendable arms, laser beams, grappling hooks, rockets, missile launchers, flight, super strength, and shield. There you go. And
What?
superior intellect and counting abilities.
Well, Miles Mayhem is a savage, bro. So Adam Tracker, I think is his name, the main good guy, Mr. Tracker. So originally Miles Mayhem was working with him. They developed the M.A.S.K technology, and then Miles Mayhem murders Mr. Tracker's brother, Andy Tracker, or maybe it's the other way around. One of the trackers, he murders one of the trackers, and he takes the technology and creates his own organization. So, this is a man who has no qualms
Savage.
about killing when he needs to. And I want to go back because I don't think I represented one of these masks very well because my notes auto-corrected to something incorrect. So let me just, I looked it up again. The Python mask I mentioned that has the grappling wire. He wears that when he co-drives Outlaw, which is an oil tanker that transforms into a mobile equipment and weapons system. So not only is it an oil tanker, but it's like got a bunch of weapons like guns and missiles and things on it. And his flexor mask, like I said, generates force fields so he can protect himself from all those gadgets you got, bro. And then when um when Gizmo Duck least expects it, corrosive poison on the suit. Eats away the suit. He's got nothing. All he can do is count then. All he can do is count. And it's because his suit has been eaten away by corrosive.
He's also very loyal, and he still offers comic
That doesn't
relief.
matter. Who cares how loyal he is, dude? Like, Miles Mayhem's people are loyal because he instills fear. Because he's a
Well,
great
you know
leader.
how, if you remember right, there was that robot that was first in charge of keeping track of Scrooge's fortune, and the robot became so powerful that no one could get into Scrooge's fortune, including Scrooge himself. He becomes Gizmo Duck because he defeats this robot himself and is able to get back into Scrooge's fortune. And he has, I know we don't talk about resources all the time, but this fortune, Scrooge really trusts Gizmo Duck, like with his life, because all Scrooge cares about is his fortune. So anything that he needs to give to Gizmo Duck to keep his fortune protected, he will. And he has the biggest fortune known to our whole universe. So whatever you have, I can throw resources at to even make
Jeff Bezos, Elon
better.
Musk. No, they don't. No.
No, not at
We're
all.
talking about Scrooge McDuck here, dude. Like,
Yeah, I'm sure he's got trillions according to what I've read, but yeah, so he has very big, lots of resources, and he's able to. I know you got gizmos and cute little planes and stuff like that, but I can get those too, I'm sure, because of the fortune. In fact, Scrooge could probably buy them from your guy because your guy probably wants the money too. So
my guy would take down that robot and take the riches for himself
mm.
until M.A.S.K stopped him. That's what he would go. I think this is definitely how the narrative plays out. He is interested in Scrooge's fortune, and that's how the two of these meet. I'm gonna hit you with a quote game. I only got one that is on here, but I'm gonna go ahead and hit you with it. Quote, goes to show you, never trust anyone named Mayhem. End quote.
That's probably a pretty legitimate quote, actually. If I know a guy and he's like, says his name's Mayhem, I'm not likely to trust that individual.
Yeah, well, blathering blatherskite. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, dude. My quote. Neither one of us have a good quote game actually going on right now. Where they're both pretty pretty
My
bad
guy's
there.
also just a couple things. He's also really good with electronics. And he has this little sidekick guy that helps him out. Where did the guy's name go? I can't find the guy's name, but this little like scientist genius that helps him out a little bit too. And he's he's got his smart intelligence and has dabbled in the scientist ways as well. Gizmo Duck has. So I've got that going on as well. Oh, his sidekick. Here's his name. His sidekick is Gyro Gearloose, who's an
What?
inventor. So I've got an inventor on my side too that can invent anything that I need to
Well, Miles
overcome
Mayhem's an inventor. He
other
invented the
things.
masks.
Huh?
Miles Mayhem is an inventor. He helped the Tracker brothers invent the masks.
Yeah, well,
Master
my
technology.
inventor's named Gearloose, so
Yeah, he's got a gear loose, so he's obviously not very bright. So
all right. I don't really know how much else to argue this.
that's all I got too, actually.
I
So
hope I'm doing this character justice. I will say the comic relief malfunctions sometimes hinder the mission, but sometimes they probably actually help it because he accidentally steps into something that will make the situation better for him. But I do have the strength I need and the maneuverability and elusive. I'm elusive. I can get away from the attacks of all these big vehicles you drive and your attacks with your mask. Rockets, lasers, the whole spiel, super strength.
and
So I'm thinking I have the advantage here. All I really need to do is take off one of that dude's masks and reveal his old retired general self and just, beat him with my metal fists until he gives up because he's old. Okay.
my guy is
What
an
I got?
extraordinary pilot, and he can maneuver small areas as well. So in a battle of vehicles, I definitely think I have the upper hand because I have all these cool switchblade. I got the got the outlaw, I got the buzzard, all these cool outfits. I mean vehicles, and but I will say, I will admit, without the masks for the vehicles, he is just a middle-aged man. So,
Well,
but
without my
he's
suits, I guess I have all my personality traits, but I'm still just
a duck.
a duck that's an accountant that can count really fast.
So there you have it, Kevin. Well, who's winning this unlikely throwdown? Because I don't know. It's kind of a wild one.
It is a little bit of a wild one. But I'm gonna have to go with Miles Mayhem as the winner.
Really?
Yeah.
No way. I thought for sure I was going to lose this one.
No, because Gizmo Duck, whatever. I mean, he's got like all these like this cool suit or whatnot. But as David said, it does have it can malfunction sometimes, and sometimes for the better. Whereas Miles doesn't seem to have that. Miles is a kind of a savage guy, so I just feel like he's going to be more likely to take advantage of these situations than the other way around. And one of them will inevitably occur. Some gizmo isn't going to work right, or a gadget isn't going to work right. Miles Mayhem's going to see it's not working, take advantage of that, use his grappling hook mouth mask or whatever it is,
which is wild. That's like...
and then he's going to start shooting the corrosives at the robot dude. I think it'll be close, but I think Miles Mayhem's going to get it.
Yes, I will accept this win. I thought for sure I was a goner. Like,
I thought since I had the comedy factor, I would win because that sometimes can overcome the actual, battle factor or whatever. But I accept my defeat.
Excellent.
I can't win with these robot dudes. I didn't win with Inspector Gadget, and I didn't win with Gizmo Duck.
Thank you, Ruben, for submitting Gizmo Duck versus Miles Mayhem. That was a delight. I did enjoy. It got me into some old 80s cartoon that I never heard of before, and it was fun. I enjoyed that. We have another submission from another listener, and I'll be the judge next, if that's cool with you guys.
Sure.
Okay.
So I'm gonna text you right now, and I'm stoked about this one. So I'll text you first, Kevin.
I got one in a minute. Are you gonna text me right now?
Yeah, I'm going to.
Okay.
David, don't feel bad though. Steven played as a big robot and lost against Skeletor.
That's true. But that I wasn't the one who defeated him though. That was you.
All right, I texted both of you your characters, and I'm so stoked about these. It's gonna be.
I want to know who I'm going against.
It's gonna be delightful. It might be one of our best ones yet, if I'm being honest.
I'm gonna have to do some research, but this will be a good one. Yes.
Yeah, I have to look this one up. All right.
So,
all right.
Now,
well, until next time, gents.
If we don't do really quick, if we don't do this one next, we might have a special guest with our dad. If that happens, cool. If not, then we'll do this one next. But we'll keep posted. But all right, dudes, I will catch you later. And anything else? Oh, really quick, advertising. What do you got going on, Kevin? Tell us about our website and all that good stuff.
Well, so you got the Brothers Born Media group or website there. And
brothersbornmedia.com.
Yeah, brothersbornmedia.com, of course. And of course, on there you have, you can listen to this podcast. You can also listen to our Brothers Born podcast, another one that we do. On top of that, you got a couple of blog posts there. Not a whole lot, but hopefully this year that will change. We'll get some more content on there. Look forward to potentially another show or two, hopefully.
Yes.
Did our Christmas throwdown get posted yet?
It did.
It did. It did.
Nice.
Yeah, we have more content on the way for sure, but it's a little bit slow coming. But I do feel like this year we'll be able to get a few more things out for
this is the year of the Brothers Born.
Yeah.
If you want to submit a throwdown idea like our friend Ruben did, or our friend Sebastian a couple weeks ago, you can do it on our website, or you can email us at brothersbornpodcast@gmail.com. And we'll look forward to that, hearing from you. We'd be happy to represent your characters.
And if you want to watch Steven play video games really terribly, don't you have a...
Not terribly. I do have a little Twitch stream going on. It's not scheduled, though. It's available if you want to check it out. It's also on YouTube. So, mostly Final Fantasy, but a couple scary games as well. So feel free to check that out. It'll be fun.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, dudes.
All kinds of stuff going on.
Yes. We will catch you next time on Unlikely Throwdowns.
Blathering Bladder Skites.